When I was 10 years old, we were living in Virginia Beach, and that's when my third father, who was in the military, adopted me. We moved to Southern California, which for me was a dream. It was like paradise on earth. It really got me thinking about, I should start enjoying myself. I should start doing things that feel good. By the age of 13, I lived for pleasure and just having fun. One day, my dad comes home and he says that we're going to move to Japan. I instantly became enraged because they were going to take me out of Southern California. When we got to Japan, I looked for kids who were basically doing the same thing that I was in the Japanese community. And eventually, because of that association, I got connected with this Japanese mafia organization called the Yakuza. I was a little Caucasian boy that they could fill up my backpack with all these drugs and money to run to different casinos, all on the main island of Honshu, the big island of Japan. I was more or less wanted. I had the Japanese government looking for me, the American government looking for me, and the American military presence in Japan looking for me. They literally kicked me out of the country with 2 military police officers handcuffed at my feet and my hands, and I was released into the custody of my father. I went to my first rehabilitation center, and I was there for 3 months. It was a complete failure for me. I relapsed the day I got out. At that time in my life, happiness for me basically meant feeling good, having, women constantly and drugs, the high of those experiences. So I thought that I was happy. But obviously, you come down after those experiences, so I tried not to be sober too much. And it just led to several years of being almost perpetually high. On one occasion, things got so out of control from the drug use that I was doing that I actually woke up strapped to a gurney with medical professionals around me, trying to get me not to pass out. I would look kind of at the stars at night, and I would think to myself, is there anything more out there? What is the meaning? Why am I here? Where does the high live forever? Where is it that I can just be in a state of dancing with the bears forever? It wasn't in categories of religion, it was in categories of feeling good. One night when I was going on 21 years old, I really did not want to live anymore, and I was contemplating taking my own life. I was in my parents' house. I panicked in the silence of that room that night with no music, no noise, no party, nothing going on, and I went out into the hallway and picked up a book on the bookshelf. The book that they had was about Marian apparitions. I had no idea what that was. I started to read that book, and it talked about a beautiful woman named Mary, who was the mother of Jesus, and that she was beautiful. And she was so beautiful that she would make little children cry and fall on their knees because of her femininity and her loveliness. That fascinated me. And so I think God used the beauty of the Virgin Mary to get me. And it was a brilliant method because it worked. I read the whole book in one night, and that began my radical falling in love with Jesus Christ. The Catholic priest that I met, the first one that I ever met, he invited me to go to see him celebrate Mass. After the priest celebrated Mass, he gave me a painting of Jesus, and I went back to my parents' house. I knelt down, and my eyes fixed on the painting of Jesus. And I was shocked that he was not looking at me like he was going to crush me. The image was of him in a gesture of blessing. I began to cry. I realized that I was loved and that I was wanted by God. All he wanted from me was not a poetic prayer, just humility, to get on my knees and surrender my life to him, and I did. I often tell people that I'm like exhibit A of divine mercy. It works. I've done so many bad things and I've hurt so many people, and yet there's mercy for someone like me. And if that's true, and it is, then the whole world, there's an ocean of mercy waiting for us. Jesus loves you, and He came for you. No matter what shameless activity you've been involved in, or how low you feel, and how hopeless and pointless life may seem, God is madly in love with you. He's longing for your friendship. He's panting for your heart. Give it to Him and trust in Him.